Free Imam Jamil. Right now. 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 Free Imam Jamil. 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 Right now. Free Imam Jamil. Now. Free Imam Jamil. Now. Free Imam Jamil. Now. Free Imam Jamil. Free Imam Jamil. Now. 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 Free Imam Jamil.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. First and foremost, as I was saying, I want to thank Allah for blessing me to be here this evening, and I want to thank those who have organized it. Brother Mansour, it takes a good Muslim to be corrected and then go back in the public and accept that correction and admit it. So I applaud that, and that is a beautiful sign of the heart of a Muslim. I want to say first that Brother Minister Farrakhan sends you his love and greetings. You know it's difficult for him to travel everywhere that he's invited. But know that his heart is concerned about Jamil Al-Amin. And when we went to see the Imam, it was just an interesting set that I will never forget. It's a part of the history that's etched in my brain. And as we were sitting in that cell, they only allowed myself, I think, and the minister to go in and talk to him. And imagine him behind bars. And we are feeling the pain for him and his beautiful family, his sons and his wife, and not knowing what the enemy would do to him in terms of just holding him. And he asked us, is there anything I can do for you? And that shows that he was looking at this time, but he's concerned about what's happening. He showed great appreciation of us coming to see him. Now I'm going to try to make this quick because we have other speakers, and Ramsey Clark is here, and at his age, moving around and adding his voice, we want to hear from him. So I want to go through this very quickly. To Sister Karima, and I want to say this, Sister Karima, it takes a lot to organize people. Most of our people have good intentions, but in the church we used to say the road to hell is paved with men and women of good intentions. They have good intentions, but they don't get it done. They need something to help them get started. We can win this campaign. We got everything on our side to win it. Number one, to bring Jamil Al-Amin back to the state of Georgia. But you can't do it sitting home. We can't do it with the few people that I'm with the Imam and I'll go out to a rally, but you got to go to that computer. You got to contact people. You have to do like Zed Shaka said, you know 10 people. And then you have to, we're having this rally while they're in the building in office. But we have to have another rally when our people feel more free to leave their jobs and to leave whatever they're doing to be here to support them. But the number one thing that they need is an education. I was reading an article, and a brother and his wife, who I know well, Dr. Eric Dyson. And Dr. Eric Dyson has a course called JZ 101. And so what I did is I went and picked up Decoded, the book that JC wrote. And I'm telling you, it's so full of garbage. It was difficult for me to get through it. And I was trying to figure in my mind, how was Dr. Eric Dyson teaching a class on JZ that would be a lesson, a learning lesson for the young students? But what about if we now get black professors, Vincent Harding and others, to do a 101 on Jamil Rap Brown Al-Amin? Give him a course in the school, because he has a rich history. And one of our greatest weaknesses, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in teaching those in the Nation of Islam, he said, of all of your studies, history is most attractive and deserves all of your research, as it is the power that develops the springs that motivate men and women. And then he said another thing, there are men and women who are born with the gift of prophecy, but others attain it through an intense study of history. And the weakness of our community today, because I ask young people, have you ever heard of Jamil Al-Amin? You ever heard of Rap Brown? They know nothing. And whose fault? You say, see, they're not teaching the children. We can't put it on anyone else. We have to do it. And then we have to prick the conscience of those who say they're in black studies, minority studies. Here's a man that was a champion. Go online and read what they write about him. They make out he appeared somewhere and said, America, if they don't come around, burn it down. But he has a family. He was born somewhere with a name. He went to a school. He has a family. That's the way they introduce most people. But when you read his, they don't introduce it. There's something that one of my brothers, Brother Hassan, hit me to. Excuse that expression. It's called representation.com. If there's something online that you don't approve of, that doesn't give a clear picture, then you can go to this company and they help you to clean it up. When people pull up Jamil Al-Amin, Imam Jamil Al-Amin, a.k.a. Rap Brown, they should get a history. And the history should talk about a man involved in struggle, a man with a family, a man that inspired a community, a man that said that if the police don't do what needs to be done for this community, we can do it ourselves. I just asked Attorney Karima, has 60 Minutes done anything on Imam Jamil? Do you think that these things come out of heaven, that somebody waves a wand? It's because people penetrate, people who know people. You got Tyler Perry here who charged people 35 grand to get in there to see Barack the other night. He's here in Georgia with a tremendous studio. Why don't you say, look, Tyler Perry, we need a piece on Jamil Al-Amin. He's fine. We need a piece that you do. We don't need Big Mama no more. We got our fill with Big Mama and all of that. But we need something that will bring a level of consciousness to this dead black community, and you're in the most powerful position. You don't have to bow to Hollywood no more. You made your money. You've established yourself, and you talk about payback to the community. We need the history of these brothers and sisters who paved the way that you could have that big studio, have that big mansion, that black men and women could sit in there, because during those days of struggle, it was the yin and the yang. And white America saw that we better deal with these integrationists, because otherwise these militants are the ones that are inspiring young people in this country. So we're the reason for it. Now our brother sits in Florence, Colorado. And you know, and as I said yesterday at the mosque, there is a war on Islam. And that's why the Muslims, those scared communities, I better do this and do that. Listen, they can listen to everything you say, even though they got listeners right here recording me, but they don't need them. They can record me from that building. So when they get you and tell you, I want you to sit in, I want you to listen to the imam or the minister and whatnot, they're just doing a job on you. You should tell, look, you don't need me. You got every phone call. You got sophisticated advice that you can point at a building and hear a rat pee on cotton. So don't get me into that. And that's what they do to you if you don't have any scruples. So with Jamil Al-Amin, every Muslim community here in this city should rally behind it. The day it's him, tomorrow it is you. So there's a way, and I'm going to close, my brother, there's a way to organize this. Number one, if you look at this Coney 212, now they got it all over the world, and the man who started it, evidently he was taking some LSD, got busted in San Diego, running around naked. You know, when you take LSD, you take all your clothes off. And this is the one, Jason Russell, who put that video on. Now the video is absolutely a sham, but it's to fleece the poor black community. You got compassion for 30,000 children that Joseph Kony has captured, and he got them hidden in the jungle somewhere. I mean, if you buy that, I got a bridge to sell you down here. You know good and well that with these drones and these satellites, that there's 30,000 children sitting in the jungles of Uganda. They know exactly where they are, but they're going in your pocket. But I'm using it for another reason. If they can make a film like that, then why can't we make a film on the life of Jamil Al-Amin and say that they have our brothers locked up, and we get our young people to put it up on the YouTube and read it across America? You have to promote it, and nobody's going to do it for you. The Muslim community can't. I'm not going to be with Jamil Al-Amin, them, they not right and this and that. I mean, look, a lot of us are not right. You can take that opinion, but it's a Muslim brother who has been unjustly incarcerated for a crime that he did not commit, and we want to bring that brother back to the state of Georgia to be close to his family. That's step one. Right. Then your letters to a black man sitting in the White House. He read Jamil Al-Amin, he studied him. David Remnick in the book Bridge goes into all of his study to become consciously aware of the struggle in this country. We need to write to him. Not one time, you need to keep the letters going. To the President of the United States, the Governor of the state of Georgia. But we as a Muslim community that is under attack worldwide, need to do this for our brother, and we need to do it right now. And I want to close on this. Sister Karima, last year you were with the veterans of the civil rights in Jackson, Mississippi. And here are the civil rights people who were on the bus ride, black and white. They were together. If we can organize them across the country, because they know the history of Jamil Al-Amin. If your letters go out tonight to Professor Cornel West, go out tonight to Dr. Dyson at George Washington University. We need a course, we need a class for these young students on the history of Jamil Al-Amin Rap Brown. It has to start somewhere. Thank you for being patient. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.